Hello and welcome to this brief video on the RainBird software guide. The first step that you need to perform is to assign areas to help sort the data and separate the sprinkler heads. What you need to do is click on System Settings. It will bring up a table and you should then click on Area Definition Tables. From here you can assign your areas by giving the area handles names. The easiest way is to match the area handle with the first letter in each area name. That way you can avoid confusion. For our second step, you must set your default data settings. To begin this, you must click on the Default Data tab found in the RainBird software. Once in the default data settings, you will see a clock with a raindrop beside it. This is your default runtime. You will want to set it to 10 minutes. The reason being is it makes it easier to tell the system which percentage to put out. For instance, if your default runtime is 10, then running your system for 10 minutes would equal 100%. But let's say you wanted to run the system for only 80%. Well, this conversion is much easier because that would simply mean you run the system for 8 minutes. For the third step in this tutorial, you will want to set up your rotor heads and the number of heads per station. You should still be in default system settings. You need to then click on the tab that looks like a sprinkler head. You will then see a sprinkler column with a drop-down box. Click on the drop-down box, select the correct head type and nozzle to get the correct gallons per minute. Then you will want to add some data to the next column over. You will want to write in the amount of sprinklers for each decoder, so you can do that manually. The final steps in the process will be to create stations for each hole. For this step, you will want to click on Station Detail. From here, you will need to add the amount of sprinkler heads from each area for each given hole. You can do this by clicking on the target area and then clicking the plus symbol until you have the appropriate amount of heads. In order to find the precipitation rate of the sprinklers, click on System Data Tables, then click on the drop-down menu and select Precip Data Table. Then, from here, you can select a name like greens, then select the pattern, the head spacing, the row spacing, the flow, and the arc. And once that's all decided, the precipitation rate will be displayed. After deciding on your precipitation rates, go over to Default Data Settings and back over to the little sprinkler head we were at before. Go over to the number sign, and then from there you'll be able to plug in the precipitation data that you just collected. And after you apply it to the selected holes, you will then see it on your table. Label decoders and change out the ones that don't match. Why we label decoders is to decipher what PSI is being put out and where it's coming from. This way our irrigation tech doesn't get confused when performing a fix on the decoder system. Changing out the ones that don't match is to the same effect. Every decoder then gets a label. They are normally a 5-digit randomized number, but for our purpose we will be starting at 1 and moving up from there. No decoders can have the same value. If you try to put in the same number, it will not let you, as shown here. After you have finished inputting all your data for one hole, go to the top left corner and choose the little emblem that looks like a hole and press the right arrow to move to the next hole and do the process all over again until you have finished the entire course. Thank you for watching our how-to guide.